Hey y'all, what's going on? Like I'm glistening a little bit like a little honey baked ham or something. I do got on my little moisturizer. Anywho, my name is Tamika Collins, and this here is my YouTube page. And on these episodes, we are reading the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. We just finished Deuteronomy. And so that 33 and 34 were the last chapters. So, we recap. So, recap is Moses blesses each tribe in Israel. And then in chapter 33, also, Moses gets to lay his eyes on the promised land at the top of Mount Moab. And till this day, no one knows where his body lays. And then, of course, chapter 34. I didn't write anything for that. Chapter 34 is the death of Moses. Okay, so we are now in Joshua, and where I'm reading from the Life Application Study Bible. It's the bomb.com. So, it has little prefaces of what we're going to read, what chapters and stuff we're going to be reading on next. So let's read what we're going to be reading about next. So in Joshua, the vital statistics are the purpose is to give the history of Israel's conquest of the promised land. The author is Joshua, except for the ending, which may have been written by the high priest Phineas, an eyewitness to the events recounted there. The original audience was for the people of Israel. The setting was Canaan, also called the Promised Land, which occupied the same general geographical territory as modern-day Israel. Key verse: go through the camp and tell the people to get their provisions together and ready. In 3 days you will cross the Jordan River and take possession of the land the Lord your God has given you. That's Joshua 1:11. The key people in this book is Joshua, Rahab, Achan or Achan, Phineas, and Eleazar. Key places are Jericho, Mount Ebal, Mount Gerizim, Gibeon, Gilgal, Shiloh, Shechem. Special features: out of over 1 million people, Joshua and Caleb were the only two adults who left Egypt and entered the Promised Land. So Joshua, do you remember the childhood game Follow the Leader? The idea was to mimic the actions of the person in front of you in the line of the children winding through the playground. Being a follower was all right, but being the leader was the most fun. Creating imaginative routes and tasks for everyone else to copy. In real life, great leaders are rare. Often men and women are elected or appointed to leadership positions, but then falter or fall to act. Others abuse their power to satisfy their egos, crushing their subjects and squandering their resources. But without fail, ethical and effective leaders, people wander. For 40 years, the Israelites had journeyed a circuitous route through the wilderness, but not because they were following their leader. Quite the opposite. With failing faith, they had refused to obey God and conquer Canaan, so they wandered. Finally, the new generation was ready to cross the Jordan and possess the land. Joshua was chosen to be Moses' successor, having distinguished himself as a man of faith and courage, given with Caleb the minority scouting recorded in Numbers 13:30 and 14:9. This book records Joshua's leadership of the people of God as they finished their march and conquered the promised land. Joshua was a brilliant military leader and strong spiritual influence, but the key to his success was his submission to God. When God spoke, Joshua listened and obeyed. Obedience served as a model. As a result, Israel remained faithful to God throughout Joshua's time. The book of Joshua is divided into two main parts. The first narrates the events surrounding the conquest of Canaan. After the crossing the Jordan River on dry ground, the Israelites camped near the mighty city of Jericho. God commanded the people to conquer Jericho by marching around the city 13 times, blowing trumpets and shouting on the final time around. Because they followed God's unique battle strategy, they won. Joshua 6. After the destruction of Jericho, they set out against the small town of Ai. Their first attack was driven back because of one of the Israelites, Achan, had sinned, Joshua 7. After the people of Israel stoned Achan and his family, purging the community of its sin, the Israelites succeeded in capturing Ai, Joshua 8. In the next battle against the Amorites, God provided extended daylight to aid them in their victory. Joshua 10. Finally, after defeating other assorted Canaanites, led by Jabin and his allies, Joshua 11, the Israelites possessed most of the land. Part 2 of the book of Joshua records the assignment and settlement of the captured territory, Joshua 13 through 22. The book concludes with Joshua's farewell address and his death, Joshua 23 and 24. Joshua was committed to obeying God, and this book is about obedience, whether conquering enemies or settling the land. God's people were required to fulfill their responsibilities God's way. In this final message to the people, Joshua underscored the importance of obeying God. So be careful to love the Lord your God, 23:11, and choose today whom you will serve. But as for me and my family, we will serve the Lord, 24:15. Read Joshua and make a fresh commitment to obey God today. Decide to follow your Lord wherever he leads and whatever the cost. And now we are in chapter 1. So let's see how much 1 is. Okay, I think we can read 1. Let's see. All right, after the death of Moses, the Lord's servant, the Lord spoke to Joshua, son of Nun, Moses' assistant. He said, Moses, my servant is dead. Therefore, the time has come for you to lead these people, the Israelites, across the Jordan River into the land I am giving them. I promise you what I promised Moses. Wherever you set foot, you will be on land I have given you, from the Negev wilderness to the south to Lebanon mountains in the north, from the Euphrates River in the east to the Mediterranean Sea in the west, including all the land of the Hittites. No one will be able to stand against you as long as you live, for I will be with you as long as I was with Moses. I will not fail you or abandon you. Be strong and courageous, for you are the one who will lead these people to possess all the land I swore to their ancestors I would give them. Be strong and be very courageous. Be very careful to obey all the instructions Moses gave you. Do not deviate from them, turning either to the right or to the left. Then you will be successful in everything you do. Study this book of instruction continually. Meditate on it day and night so you will be sure to obey everything written in it. Only then will you prosper and succeed in all you do. This is my command: be strong and be courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Joshua then commanded the officers of Israel, go through the camp and tell the people to get their provisions ready. In 3 days you will cross the Jordan River and take possession of the land the Lord your God is giving you. Then Joshua called together the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and half the tribe of Manasseh. He told them, remember what Moses said, the servant of the Lord commanded you. The Lord your God is giving you a place of rest. He has given you this land. Your wives, children, and livestock will remain here in the land Moses assigned to you on the east side of the Jordan. But your strong warriors, fully armed, must lead the other tribes across the Jordan to help them conquer their territory. Stay with them until the Lord gives them rest, as he has given you rest, and until they do to possess the land the Lord your God is giving them. Only then may you return and settle here on the east side of the Jordan in the land that Moses, the servant of the Lord, assigns you. Then they answered Joshua, we will do whatever you command us, and we will go wherever you send us. We will obey you just as we obeyed Moses. And may the Lord your God be with you as he was with Moses. Anyone who rebels against your orders and does not obey your words and everything you command will be put to death. So be strong and courageous. Alrighty then. So let's be strong and courageous, okay? All right, so we are going to continue in chapter 2 on our next venture and reading this good word. If I was shining, I do apologize. Shine bright like a diamond. Anyway, I hope you have a great morning. I hope you have a great afternoon. I hope you have a great evening. I hope you have a great night and a midnight hour. Yes. And I'll see you next time, okay? Peace.